Well, as you can all probably see, I am extremely tired. Now, apart from the lack of sleep that's making me tired, what I'm really tired of is the complete and utter disregard for human beings that I see on a daily basis. Now, I've made a point, and you will have to excuse me because I'm afraid, if I can't remember where I put them, it will be a glasses moment. I just want to read a couple of things that I've come across, and this is just in the last 24 to 48 hours. And then I want to ask people a few questions if that's okay, and feel free to comment on it. And whether you agree with me, it's not compulsory to agree with every word I say, and I'll live with that. But I'd be very shocked to see that people can't agree with what I say on these particular things. First thing, girl told to imagine she was a princess in a garden during female genital mutilation. A young girl was told as she was told to close her eyes and imagine she was a princess in a garden as she underwent female genital mutilation. Now I hear the same argument over and over and over and over. And the argument is, well, they circumcise little boys. Let me make one thing clear. Personally, baby's born into this world. As far as I'm concerned, it's born into this world perfect. There is no reason of any kind, as far as I'm concerned, to chop little bits of them off. However, boys that are circumcised, and yes, I've dated circumcised men and I've dated uncircumcised men. Those who are circumcised don't suddenly stop enjoying an intimate sexual relationship. When you mutilate, do you see the difference between circumcision and mutilation? You mutilate a child and then you tell her to imagine she is a princess. But I guarantee nobody would dream of touching the hair of a princess. You have removed any possibility of that child enjoying an adult sex life when she is a mature young lady. So that was the first thing that I wanted to get across to all those who want to argue the toss over whether or not people are circumcised or mutilated being the same. They're not the same. They are not the same. Taking away the right of any child to grow and flourish into a beautiful, healthy young lady who can meet somebody and have an intimate, pleasurable experience with because you fear that they may stray says more about your inability as a man to know that he cannot satisfy the woman. So there you go. You mutilate girls in order to stay more masculine. But I don't see a masculine man. I see a coward, and I see people prepared to butcher their children. On to the next thing. Paedophile who abused two young girls gets a longer jail term because the victims were Asian. Mr. Justin Walker said it was fair for paedophile Jamal Mohammed Rahim Al-Nasir to get tougher sentence because of the shame he brought on the girls' communities. Really? Really? Seriously? Are you trying to now tell me that once again, when we're constantly told that we are the racist, we are called the racist, how dare you make one person more important because she happens to be a different colour to me? Well, I would challenge you, Mr. Justin Walker. I will challenge you because I know that as a white woman who was brutally raped, that regardless of my skin colour, she suffered no more shame than I suffered. My family were groomed. My family suffered from that rape. My family was destroyed. Do not ever tell me that a woman matters more because she is Asian then a child matters when she is white. Because whilst every rape is abhorrent, every rapist, as far as I'm concerned, should face death penalty. Do not tell me that they matter more because they happen to be a different colour to me. How dare you? You should be struck off. You should never be allowed to preside over another court case for as long as you live. And you should be arrested for that comment because as far as I'm concerned, that is racism at its very, very best. So that's that one. You then see Imam. Friends described rapist man as man of great principle. A rapist who committed a degrading and humiliating attack on a vulnerable Leeds prostitute was described by his Imam family and friends as caring, supportive, and a man of great principle. Well, great principle, unless, of course, you happen to be the person he's raping. I hear time and time again that we lack moral. We are the ones that we are godless creatures. I, as an atheist, am a godless creature. Yeah? Well, a godless man, a man of God, apparently, thought it was all right to rape a girl. Is anybody starting to get the picture here? Are they? Are they starting to understand? I don't think they are. So, again, so then the next link, again, Asian sex crime victims suffer more than white girls. Do they? Do they really? Again, Rotherham abuse suspect charged with historic threats to kill. Okay, so a rapist and a thug. So when we say, in our opinion, that we are being invaded by people who wish nothing more than to beheaders and rapers, we'd be racist for that comment, would we? Fascists and Nazis and bigots and all those lovely words that people like to throw at us. Now, I wouldn't have mentioned this only. There's something I'm going to make very clear here. Sorry, take the glasses off now, otherwise it's all blurred. For anybody who watched the conference that I held, which I will say was done in a very professional manner. For anybody who watched that, the lady who was there, there was two ladies. One was a Pakistani lady, the other lady was Bangladeshi. And for some reason she thinks I have a problem with her, and she apparently has a problem with me. Well, let's get one thing clear. I don't have a problem with you, per se. I don't dislike you as a person. What I had a problem with is no sooner had we arrived back home, I think I'd been home 2, maybe 3 hours, you wrote on your wall, and I will quote your words, "Today I sat in a room full of white people. Islamophobia and, extremism is being allowed to cause these divisions." So why not turn around and say, I sat in a room full of non-Muslims? That would probably be closer to the truth, but the other lady, of course, she was a Muslim. But you didn't. You stated you sat in a room full of white people. Well, I'm sorry if this offends your delicate nature, but that makes you a racist. And then you flooded my timeline with comments trying to defend the very words that you yourself typed up. At no point nor would I, if you said to me, come and meet my imam, and I said to you, arrange it. I'll go to the mosque, I'll come and meet your imam. Not a problem. Not a problem. The difference is, if I came and I did that, I wouldn't walk out and tweet, today I sat in a room full of brown people. See, I have a little more respect than to make such an appalling comment. You then tagged to me a link of white men. There was a group of white, dirty, filthy, raping scumbags. And I went, I know. I tweeted it myself the day before. And your answer was, see, groomers come in all creeds and colours. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. And they come in all kinds of religions too. And all kinds of faiths too. And that is my point. When Catholic priests raped little boys, I called them just that, Catholic priests. I didn't write up white boys, white men raped little white boys. No, these were Catholic priests. They were Catholic priests. And the Pope himself came out and condemned the actions of Catholic priests. Now I asked you, and I will ask you again, kindly do as I did. I had already tweeted that article before you sent it to me. You just didn't bother to notice that. However, I did. Go through my timeline, you'll find it. Now I'm asking you, go onto my timeline and find the links of Muslim rapists that have targeted predominantly white women and girls, and put it out on your timeline and state the word, these Muslim men raped these women and children, and we as Muslims condemn them all. Of course you won't do that. You won't do that. See, I will put my money where my mouth is. I will call out the Rolf Harrises and the Jimmy Saviles and the Stuart Halls, and I will call out the Westminster paedophiles, and I am quite happy to do so. My argument is, and always has been, you sit there with your feigned offendedness. I am offended by this. I am offended by... Well, I'm offended by the lack of empathy shown by the Muslim community. I am offended by the rape of over 1 million predominantly white girls. I am offended that the death of a child was used to browbeat this country to accept more illegal immigrants. They are not refugees, they are illegal immigrants. You've got immigrants being caught on camera walking about, children, little boys 9 years old, doing that. Multiple people have been seen doing it. You see them now, because in whatever country it is where they're using tear gas, they're holding their babies out as shields. They've got iPhones, they've got selfie sticks, they've got money, they look fed. They are not refugees, they are not asylum seekers, they are illegal immigrants flooding this country at a rate of knots that this government cannot control. And when there's another 1 million predominantly white girls raped, you will all sit there and go, they're not true Muslim. Your excuses, your pathetic excuses are sickening. It sickens me to the core. If we wish to stand up for our country, we are deemed racist. If we wish to stand up to defend the rights of every single person who lives in this country, of every creed, of every colour, we are racist. Well, I will put it to every left, to every UAF, Antifa, to every Muslim that doesn't have the moral fortitude to call these rapists out, that doesn't have the moral fortitude to stand up over flood of immigration into this country, that it is you that is the racist, it is you who is the fascist, and it is you who is the Nazi. How dare you judge the people of this country? It is a small island, and it is being now raped on a daily basis in every conceivable manner. Yet you stand in judgment of the very people who would do whatever it took to defend the shores so that true asylum seekers would have a safe place to come. I am trying to help a true asylum seeker, a man living in fear of his life every single day. But he can't get here. Funny that, isn't it? Where do they get the money from to pay these people smugglers? Where do they find this money? It's certainly not a cheap hobby, that's for sure. I am furious at the very attitude that I see on a daily basis. But I will also say that I am shocked and appalled by the behaviour of people who are supposedly fighting for the same things as me. I'm sorry, but I am going to say this. I put the link out for a young girl who had been raped by hundreds, and I virtually had to plead to get people to share it. I put a link out for John, who is hiding in the back of a factory drinking water from an air conditioning unit. I had to plead to get people to share it. Now, I respect every single one of my armed forces, and I will back every single one of those boys who are ex-forces, who have gone out and fought with the Kurds. I know for a fact that somebody who's very, very dear to me, who I think the world of, who has gone out and done such a thing. And I back every single one of them. But what I see is the behaviour of women that makes me feel quite sick. You are throwing yourselves, oh, you're a hero, oh, you're this, oh, take my money, have my money. No, that's great. But split what you would donate between two people. So you help the girl and you help that man. What is wrong with that? If I had £5, I'd split £2.50. Sorry, that's how I would do it. Now, we can't back every cause and we can't help every cause that's out there. And I understand that. I really do understand that. But what I'm seeing is what I like to refer to as knicker-droppers. Something else that worries me in this country. We need girls to now start taking responsibility for their safety. They must start taking some responsibility for their safety. So, I do have an idea, which I intend to get into practice. So I'm going to ask for people to contact me. I need 60, maybe 70 people. 2 men to every 1 woman. I'm going to get leaflets, which I will have delivered. Those leaflets will be taken to places such as Peterborough, Burnley, Birmingham, Rochdale, Rotherham, Telsley, Stevenage, London, all over. And I will ask people to please, don't travel in taxis alone. Travel in taxis in groups of 3, 4 or more. Don't drop your friend off first and yourself off last. Stay at your friend's house and spend the night there. If you go out and one of the girls you're out with disappears, go and look for her. Go and find her. And don't leave that pub until you have. Try to have a limitation when you know you've got to that point where you're just drunk enough to be having a good time but fully aware of what's going on. And say, do you know what? I've had enough. So that you are aware of what's going on around you. If you're drinking from a bottle, Bacardi, Breezer, Smirnoff Ice, keep your thumb over the top of the bottle. You never know, somebody might spike your drink. These are small measures. Young girls at school, when a man comes up and he's 24, 18, 25, and he says, you're beautiful, you're special. Or if he says to you, your mum and dad have been in a car accident, or it's an emergency, you must get in the car with me. No, you don't get in a car with a man you do not know. And if a man of that age is telling a girl of 13 that she is beautiful and special, and that she should come with him, and he buys her a bit of drink and a bit of alcohol, seriously, and he comes up and he tells you you're beautiful and you're special, walk away. Now, this is for all girls, and this is about all men. We must teach our children that safety doesn't just... We can't rely on the police anymore, I'm sorry. They've continuously let these girls down. So as parents and grandparents, we must rely on the information we give our children. please educate your children. That unfortunately we live in a country at this moment where we can trust no one. You have a girl that comes up and says to you, oh, my friend up there, he's 24 and he really thinks you're cute. Walk away. Walk away. It doesn't matter whether he's a nice guy or not, it's not worth taking the chance. So, I need about 60, 70 people to come with me. Because obviously men can't approach girls. And the women who go out there to approach girls and say, how many people are you with? Are you getting home safely? Is there a group of you? How many of you are there? Make sure you stick together. Stay together. No wandering off without each other. Never. This is no different to the lads. Any lad who works out in the army, they'll tell you, never leave a man alone. The same rule applies. Girls need to go out now and they need to put their safety above all else. You must ensure yourself and your friends are safe. I need enough people to get out so we can get this message out. Maybe we can get some of the care homes to take some of the leaflets and actually start educating young girls in care homes, pubs, clubs, Pizza Hut places, taxi ranks. I don't care. Kebab houses. We target every area. We do it in a polite, concise, military fashion. We use our common sense. We use politeness, courtesy. We address cautiously. We pay attention. We make sure that if somebody else is offended by our actions and decides to kick off at us, that somebody's recording it. We have to start ensuring the safety of our girls in this country, our boys in this country. We must start educating our youngers. For now, I'm sorry I look so tired. I really am really very exhausted. It's been a long month, really. I wish everybody a fantastic weekend. Everybody take care, and I will speak to you all real soon. Bye.